Today I want to show you guys something I've been waiting to get for the truck. I've been kind of procrastinating it a little bit because I hadn't seen one in person. But I went ahead, the Bulletpoint Rubigrid. Here it is. I think it looks really good. Now we'll get to the installation video. Got something in the mail. It wasn't supposed to be here for a couple more days, but it actually got here early, which doesn't happen with me a whole lot out where I live. So let's take a look at it. So this is the Bulletpoint mounting solutions. I got the mount and I got two of the balls, and I just took everything that come out of the big box and threw it on the tailgate. That's one of the injector connectors, injector plugs, injector pigtail, however you want to call that, for the 2018 Chevrolet Silverado. My personal opinion, if you got one of these trucks, you should have one of those in the glove box. I just put number 5 on last night. That's why I have my new one here. Anyway, back to this. Bulletpoint mounting solutions. I've seen these in Fords, Dodges, and all the later model 20 and up that have the cubby hole up on the dash. Love it. On this truck, they just came out with this one. I've not seen one installed in a truck like this yet, and I do have a buddy that's got one. He said he loved it, said it was worth the money. Let's open the box, see what all comes in here, because in full disclosure, I have opened the box already just to make sure everything that I thought was supposed to be here is here. I need to put this stuff somewhere where it won't blow away. And it's the stickers and some paperwork. Then I'll take this and put it over here somewhere where it won't blow away. And there's the money. So I did look through it earlier just to make sure I had an understanding of what to talk about on the video. Here is the mount itself. It's solid. It is heavy. It's not some lightweight cheap piece of plastic, no doubt. I haven't read the instructions. I've tried to, but I've had other stuff going on. I believe it said I know I've seen 3 of the balls on here, but I think it can hold 4. I don't know that for sure. We'll see once it's installed. It comes with a short arm. It comes with a foam mount. Now that's something else. I like my foam mount that I have in the truck. This joker it's heavy. It feels like it's really well built. I do not know if I'm going to use it. The main reason I bought this setup is I have a trucker's GPS that keeps falling off my dash. The double-sided tape sticky solution worked great through the winter, but in the summer, not so good. So they supply the drill bit, a bullet. I guess that's for if it gets to be too much and you just can't get it done. No, that is a Coke opener, a Coke bottle opener looks like. They send the trim, the pry tool, and screwdriver, and looks like everything you're going to need for the installation. Over here they have some brackets that you install behind the bezel, I believe. Right here they have the templates. Everything looked to be very well labeled and marked. This is for whole B. One reason I held off on this, and I wasn't going to order it until I saw one in someone's truck and actually got to grab it with both hands and shake on it, make sure it wasn't going to be a cheap feel. I want to make sure it was a good solid feel like it is in the Dodges and Fords and the later model stuff that I've seen them in, is because I have to drill holes in my dash. I do not like that, but I understand why they did it the way they did it, because there's not really another mounting solution for this truck. Me doing a video in my truck, keep in mind this is a work truck with 575,000 miles on it. She is filthy. It deserves a bath and a full detail and all that, and it's cluttered where I've been in and out of it so much, but try not to hold that against me. Well, here's where it goes. This is what it should look like when we're done. And like I say, when I bought this truck, I really liked the look of how the truck was laid out. I didn't realize that GM must have spent countless hours trying to design this truck where you literally can't add anything. There is a purpose, a curve, the leather. You're not sticking anything anywhere. You're not mounting anything anywhere else where it's gonna look right unless you just happen to find that one perfect thing, you know. Am I excited about drilling holes in my dash? No. Is it replaceable? I can order one off Amazon? Yeah. So, alright, we're going to give it a shot. First thing that I need to do is get that bezel off. I saw somewhere in some of the paperwork I read that this could be a 20-minute install. I don't plan on it being a 20-minute install because I'm going to take my time and make sure I do it the best I can, and I'm recording. But the first thing I did is grab the pry tool. I have a little toolkit or the tools that they sent right here, and we're going to go ahead and pop this bezel off. The only time I've had this off, I was really nervous about breaking it, but after I got off that first time, it's a lot more resilient than I thought. Get my hand in behind it where I can pull, and like I say, there, a lot more resilient than I thought. Just get your tool in behind it, start working it out. It's going to sound painful whenever the clips, the tabs start popping loose, but really at the end of the day, it's not that bad. So now I'm going to, I think I need to unplug the seat heaters, which should be just simple push in on the connector and release it. There's that one. There's that one. Now this is completely loose. So the next thing, if I saw right, the places where we're going to drill the holes, the template is going to slide into these slots right here. So here are the instructions. I'm going to try to get a close-up of this and kind of run down the page. Maybe you guys can stop or screenshot or whatever if you're actually looking for the instructions, and that would make it where you could blow it up and read the instructions at home. And making sure my thumb's not covering anything up. There's that. So I did pull the instructions out. I am going to read because I was wrong. The next step is installing these tabs here. So you'll need a 7mm socket, and I'll get one of those and we'll get these tabs. Installation takes 15 to 20 minutes. That's where I saw that. So step number 2 after removing the bezel and unplugging the seat heaters is use a 7mm wrench to remove the 2 factory screws marked as X. That would be these 2 right here, which will be these 2 right here. If you can see that one and that one. So what else does it say? Set the 2 included brackets in place. Bracket A for the driver's side, bracket D for the passenger side. Secure the brackets with the same 2 factory screws. So 7mm. I'm gonna drop that. I can see that coming. Alright, both hands. Okay, tab A, and the screw is through it. Now, like I say, I'm sorry I don't have a phone holder or something like that, a tripod or cameraman or whatever, but oh no, I can get this. I can do this. So I start this by hand, then take my electric wrench here, snug it back in. Not going to tighten it up, just snugging it up a little bit so I can set it, I'm assuming right there. I pulled it up till it hit the trim and stopped. Doesn't look straight. Straight enough. there's the screw. And here is tab D. So on there it said A is the driver side, D is the passenger side. So drop this out. All right. Just dropped it in, getting it started. Which is kind of aggravating with the display, in the way there. But it is started. Get her, make easy socket knot. I don't want to tighten that up because I know that it's falling in there in a way in which it shouldn't be. So using one hand, I'll tighten it up a little more, get it snug, pull this up, and that one looks a lot better. I may grab a wrench and come back and snug that up. But there are the two tabs, and see what's next. The little cards that they send you, the templates, they are pointed, and I actually had to phone a friend. Actually, the only other guy, thank you Steven, the only other guy that I know that has one in these trucks, and you'll see that the ends are tapered. The tapered, he said, goes in like this because they'll go further in. All right, so I marked A, B, C, and D, and you have to flip these cards over because they will be lettered on both sides. Well, if you can hold on to them. So there's A and D, and there's A and D. So I guess there was one for each side. Anyway, when I put it in here, it goes A, B, C, and D. So you can see the score mark where I put it in, and I took the drill bit and I just lightly pressed and spun the drill bit back and forth a few times, and that left my mark for where I'm going to be drilling. This guy has gotten in there pretty good. Yeah, I'd pull that guy out later. There. Now you can see my marks. Now go get the drill and drill some plastic. So I wished I had someone here to hold the camera for me, but I don't, and I don't have time to set up a tripod. I've actually got somewhere I'm supposed to be. So we've all drilled plastic before, right? So I put the drill bit that came in the kit. I'm gonna drill all 4 holes the same size, and I'll be right back. While I have this out of the truck, I want to show you guys, I just got the holes drilled, and it's just, I mean, you've drilled plastic before. If not, it's super simple. I did take my pocket knife and kind of deburred the holes a little bit, but if you see the finish on this, how it's all jacked up, I tried cleaning this with alcohol to put a 3M sticky tape pad on, took the finish right off. I wouldn't clean this with alcohol if you're going to try to stick something to it. Just saying. And that's another reason why I didn't mind drilling holes in this one, because the finish is already kind of jacked up anyway. Next, we're going to take the supplied screwdriver and take the 2 Phillips head screws out of the actual mount itself. And what that will do, there's a bracket underneath, and that will release that bracket from the mount. Alright, that's how it comes apart. We're going to lay this aside, and we're going to take this piece, and now we have to bolt it to the trim. So it will go something like this. So we're going to put the 2 center bolts. It came with hardware. We'll get those bolts ready and we'll get those in tightened up. So now that I have this bolted on, they did supply a 7 and 8 millimeter wrench, and I went ahead and took the 7 millimeter and snugged the brackets up here. And now I'm going to take and hold one side and take the provided screwdriver and tighten these up. Here's what it looks like once you get the 2 screws tightened up. One thing I want to bring attention to is before you tighten these up, just snug them down. You may need to move this on the bezel to get it centered, because if you get it too far over, the other screws won't go through. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and slip this back onto the screen, and then we should be able to put the other 2 screws back in, and then put the 2 screws that hold the Rubigrid on, and we should be done, or close to done. I still have to put the ball on. Alright, so I got my seat heaters plugged back in, and I'm gonna use this back up here and start working my way around. You gotta make sure that the cable for the seat heater goes back through its little hole. If it doesn't, it will cause issues, and there it is. So alright. And then this will sit right. Cool. Alright, so let's get our other screws, the 2 that go in right here and right here. And we'll go ahead and tighten those down. Now, I don't know if I'm doing this wrong, or if these people are just really awesome and they send you an extra of everything because they know people like me drop stuff. And I noticed whenever I was putting the other stuff together, there was an extra screw. And I thought, wow, I've got one left over. That doesn't seem right. But then, there we go. There's that one. Now I'm noticing I'm gonna have an extra on this one too, and that's pretty cool that they send extras. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me taking the time to screw both of these in, but I'm not gonna crank this down super tight, because, well, maybe I am. Maybe it just got tight. I'm just trying to remember all this stuff is plastic underneath, and even though I want to sandwich this and get a good firm grip, I do not want to crack the plastic. So that, yeah, I really put it down on that. And guys, that thing's solid as a freaking rock. Now, I haven't got all the screws in yet. Put this other screw in, I'll be back. So my next thing is figuring out, before I put the screws in here to hold this down, I need to figure out where do I want to put this ball, because that's kind of a key point to everything. If I put it way in the center, I have 3 of these, so if I put it in the center, I may not like where it ends up. So the main reason I bought this is for my GPS. I want the GPS setting right here. So we're gonna go ahead and put that as far to that side as I can get it, and then we'll put the phone mount on this side. But I don't know, I have a phone mount mounted, well, right here. I like it because it's low, it's out of the way and all that. I may try this one out just to see how I like it, but I think I like it better down low. Another thing I forgot about, with the GPS, I'm gonna have to take all this stuff back apart and run the wire up through the bezel so the wire can come out and run right along the arm. I didn't think about that, so if you're installing yours for something like that and you've got power cords or something, keep that in mind as you're installing this, because you don't want to get it all installed and have to do like me and take it all back apart after the video. So the one that comes in the kit, the one you're going to get with your mount, has Phillips head screws. The one that you order as an extra, as an add-on, is going to have Allen head screws. That's the screw that we screw this down, so you got to make sure too that you don't cover up the screw hole to mount it onto that. Glad I noticed that before I got too far gone, because I would have hated to have to pull all this off and move those back just that far. Well, yeah, glad I noticed that. All right, everything seems to be tight. Throw this up here and find the screws. Now, one thing I am going to say right now about them is they provided a lot of extra hardware. I'm horrible about dropping screws in place I can't get them back, and they had hooked me up with, I mean, everything that I've touched so far has had an extra screw. When you buy the Bulletpoint accessory balls, the spacers, I don't know who that was. They have the spacers that go in there, I guess, so you can raise it up a little bit. And it also has a pad on the bottom side so it doesn't scratch your new mount. I thought that was pretty cool. And you notice, well, I'm not sure. I saw it earlier. But it seemed, if I remember right, there was 3 nuts in here with that. I mean, because they know we're going to be taking these things off and on and moving them around and getting them the way that we want them. And, you know, you drop stuff breaks. That's a good solid form so far. And here are the extra screws and bolts that I had left over after the install. So there's 2 extra screws to hold the actual Rubigrid down, and there's just 1 extra of everything. So I don't know if you guys meant to do that, but if you did, that's awesome. I will probably want to change this and make sure both of these have the same. The Phillips head screws were cool because they came with a screwdriver. I do like the Allen heads better. I think they look better. While I don't have another phone to put in the phone mount, I'm recording this on my phone. This is the Bulletpoint mount that came with the setup, and I will say this, it's got a very good strong spring, padded rubberized ergonomic, however you want to put that. I believe it will hold. I have a Samsung Note 22 Ultra, Note 21 Ultra, yeah, and it'll hold it no problem. But this is a RAM mount that I had from before. I did have to do a little whittling on it to get it to where it would clamp down on that ball, because not made for it. It's the balls are slightly different. One thing I can say about the balls that you get with Bulletpoint, they have these little grooves cut around in the balls, if you can see that, and these are the same way, if you can see that. Oh, maybe not, but it really makes a difference in how it holds things on. So that is why I actually ordered it right there, to keep my GPS firm and stable right over in that direction. And honestly, I will probably end up taking this off. My phone is really big. I did put it up there, and it stretches from the mirror down to about here and that's just too much up there. So it is a few days later since I installed the Bulletpoint mount, and I have something I want to show you guys. So today I'm towing a 32-foot Eddie Bauer bumper pull camper. We're headed down to Florida, and I don't remember the weight on this thing, but it's long, it's heavy, it's riding good, but it's still, I'm loaded. I have 65 gallons worth of fuel in the auxiliary tank, plus a full tank in the pickup. Sun's in our eyes, but we are going down 65, headed toward Nashville. We're actually probably getting close to Bowling Green, Kentucky right now. Running 68 miles an hour, towing a 32-foot camper with 10-ply tires and 80 pounds of PSI in the rear tires and a bed full of equipment. And the reason I bring all that up is because that's all the things that contribute to a rough riding truck. All right, the truck, and keep in mind the truck's got over 550,000 miles, 575,000 miles on it, over that. So I think it's pretty smooth considering the ride of the truck, towing and all that. I think it's doing a pretty doggone good job. Now, when I initially put it on, I may have already talked on this in the video, but if I haven't, I didn't have but one arm that came with the kit. I had a ram mount arm, and I'm not knocking ram mount, but the arm didn't fit the bullet point ball. Now, I never thought about that, so what I did is I took a grinder and whittled down the ram mount. I'm not knocking ram mount, it's just they're two different systems, two different balls. I'm not an expert on balls. Anyway, once I whittled the arm down and got it clamped down to where it had a good solid clamp on it, that took the vibration that I didn't like away. And I didn't realize that little bit of vibration from that clamp being just a little bit loose. I mean, it was tight enough it would hold it up. It just wasn't tight enough to get rid of the vibration. That was sending like a wave through the whole mount. So once I got everything tightened up, is it moving at all? Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of vibration here and there, but it's not bad at all. And if I had the lightweight arm over there instead of the ram mount arm, I believe it'd be even better, and it would tuck the GPS in tighter to the dash like I want it. And I have one of those arms coming. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. I would just keep all that stuff in mind that I need to get either bullet point or equivalent attachments and accessories to go on it. So, big thank you to Stephen for recommending this. A big thank you to Bullet Point for actually even taking the time to put the effort into coming up with a mounting solution for this truck and doing such a good job on it, because all of the components, everything laid down just like it was supposed to. I drilled the holes through the templates just where they said. The screws went right through the holes, right into the attachments under the dash. Everything lined out just like it's supposed to. They sent a screwdriver, they sent a 7 and 8 millimeter wrench, they sent a keychain with a thumb screw tightener, they sent a bullet Coke opener, Coca-Cola bottle opener is what it looked like. I didn't really get to study all that stuff. I was in a rush, but that's what it looked like. It's still cool. And that mount, I don't know. I didn't really look into it to see if it's made from steel or aluminum, but either way, I don't want to get hit with it. It's good, heavy, solid product. You know, the mount, the piece that goes underneath that, the top piece screws down to, like I say, good, solid piece of metal. You know, it's nothing about this setup seems cheap at all to me. The foam mount, I'm not big on the clamp style foam mounts. That sun gun right there is not going to drop that big brick of a foam I've got. It's got a good solid clamp on it. So for being a member, you just don't know what it means to me. If you would like to take a look at the membership site, it's a 14-day free trial to get ad-free content, early access, and categorized content where you can see stuff like truck upgrades, truck repair and maintenance videos, RV transport videos, stuff like that. The links to all that stuff's in the description. If you're watching on YouTube and that's not for you, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Remember, all the links to this stuff's in the description. If I have a chance, I'll update it in the Amazon store whenever I get a chance. But I'll try to make it as easy as I can to find for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.